everyone. Welcome back to our 6th episode of PHHS Intercast. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about how first semester went and what plans we have in store for second semester for Interact. My name is Joanna.
I'm Sandy.
And I'm Alicia. And today we have a special guest with us.
I'm Joanne. I'm in 11th grade this year, and I am a board member on Interact.
So today we'll just be going over just a little recap. So for first semester, we've had a lot of different really cool activities.
Yeah, so I think one of our big events was, or like an event I had planned was a movie night collab with CSF. And I've also held a leadership workshop with Chris Mai, the board director. And we've also had Inner Heart Week for the Thanksgiving season. And that was really fun to put together. And our hardworking board members have also been like consistently putting out service activities, and a lot of it were, some of them were free rice, which also helps towards like our district projects as well. And we've also had, I've like seen crane making. Yeah, so there were a lot of various activities during the semester.
I think one of my favorite activities that we had this semester was the Inner Heart Week, because I thought the questions that you guys asked were so cute. They're like what your favorite Starbucks drink was for the fall and stuff like that, and it was like a really cute like infographic, super duper cute. I loved it.
Honestly, yeah, the events too that the board members released, like even before I became a board member, I thought for online activities they were super creative, and or at least I enjoyed doing them a lot. So it's a good job to the board members on that.
Yeah, and I really loved how everyone found like a way to make all of the activities really enjoyable and interactive. Like last year was kind of whack, so I really liked how the activities that I attended in Interact like helped me kind of feel better throughout it all. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Same here.
Shout out to our super duper cool boardies for doing all that, and also to Sandy for being a cool community coordinator. Yep. Okay, so this semester, we have our first area event coming up. So normally we would have a charity dinner in the first semester, but since we can't do that due to COVID, we're having a game show instead. And I know we've like talked about it before, but we never really went into detail about what we're gonna do at the game show. So basically our game show is Mario Party themed, so I think that's really cute. And then also basically we're just going to be splitting people into teams, and then the teams will be able to compete and play in a couple rounds of super cool games that we've set up through Zoom. And after the games are completed, they will tally up points, and then we will be able to spin like prize wheels to determine what prizes you'll get, and then you'll get them delivered to you. And admission is free, so that means like the prizes that you get are also free. And then if you want to have like an even bigger prize, then you can enter into the raffle, which is $2 per entry, and then you'll get like a prize basket, and it's like super filled with a lot of stuff. Like officers went crazy with packing it full of like super cute plushies and snacks and stuff like that. And then also the prize wheel for the free prizes also includes a possibility of getting a hoodie, like an Interact Classic hoodie, which is valued at like $23 normally. So that's pretty nice.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, we put a hoodie on the prize wheel, so maybe someone will be lucky and get one. By the time you watch this, it will be over because it's on January 23rd. But if you like what you heard about our game show this month, then you might want to stay tuned for our next area event. We don't know what it's going to be yet, but it's probably going to be very cool as well.
A board member and I were literally fangirling over how cute the plushies were, like literally 2 days ago.
Yeah, people from IHS, I believe it was Diana Pham, who's the Interact president at Independence, and Retina. They went crazy with it. I did not expect them to get that much stuff. I thought they would just get a few like cute items, but they went really crazy. So hopefully whoever gets it will take good care of the plushies because they're really cute.
Yeah, and I feel like every year that we had raffles, the baskets were like literally the best. I think it was a Mount Olympus area event, and they had like different themes for our raffle basket. So yeah.
Always popping off with the prizes.
Actually, the baskets are so cute. I think last year we had like a honey or like a yellow themed one. Even visually, super cute.
All right, so now that you've heard a little bit about the game show, even though some of you might have already gone, but you know, that's okay. Let's move into some stats. Yay! Okay, so first off, the schools of District 5170 currently have 2,645 members and 6,387.55 hours, and we've also raised $30,008.60. So that's a lot, guys. Good job. And if you want to learn more, then you should definitely go and read the district newsletter. Like, please go read it. It is so good. Like, and also shout out to Chris Nguyen for helping with the newsletter.
The newsletters always look so good. Like every time it's released, I always have to go check it out because the graphic design is just. Moving on to stats at PHHS, first semester we had 119 members, 163 hours, and we raised a total of $653, which is also pretty impressive. So go Pirates!
Yeah, thank you to you guys, like our members, for being a part of the club, because without the members, probably Interact wouldn't exist, because board members and the Interact board in general put out events, and it's you guys, the members, who attend and make our like plans come to life.
Totally. And all of those funds go to our projects. So it goes directly to COVID relief in the Bay Area, as well as providing food boxes to families in Yemen. So your money is definitely going to good causes, and we hope to continue to be able to support those causes in this semester.
All right, so let's dive a little deeper into our experiences with first semester. This is our first full semester of distance learning and quarantine. So would anyone like to kickstart off with how COVID has affected maybe what you've done for Interact this semester?
I can start. In terms of school and stuff, I think it's definitely one of the biggest changes. Like it feels like a dream that in March they were announcing on the school that we would have a 2-week break, and then now it's been almost not a year, but it's been a long time. So that's pretty shocking. First semester, it wasn't too rough. I feel like it would have been harder if I were at school, like especially with all that walking around and moving. I would have been a lot more tired. For Interact, I think honestly, like COVID, in terms of everything else, it didn't go that well, but it gave me the opportunity, like it gave me more time to do more extracurriculars, and that's what actually encouraged me to join the board for Interact. So I have that to thank COVID for, I guess. But yeah, there are pros and cons for me. It really varies, honestly. That's pretty much a summary of my first semester though, and how COVID affected it.
Yeah, I definitely agree that like with COVID and quarantine and stuff, you have so much more time to do the things that you like. Like, I don't think organizing a podcast this big, I know I talk about the podcast a lot, but I'm honestly like really proud of everything that we've been able to accomplish with it. Like, I don't think like if we were at school, I don't think we would be able to pull this project together, because we would probably have like a bunch of other extracurricular activities that would require us to like, you know, actually go places. Like that would be so hard. Like nowadays I barely like move from my chair, okay? But like, yeah. And I don't know, school has been a lot easier for me too. I wouldn't necessarily say it's like more relaxing, but it definitely has been somewhat of a relief. And I think with the pandemic, I've actually like been able to focus more of my energy into service and Interact, obviously, and a lot of the other extracurriculars that I like to do. So yeah, I'm really grateful for that.
For me, I feel like, of course, it's like a really unique experience. So I can't really gauge how junior year would have went without COVID, because I don't know. But I think it's really a gamble. I feel like either you can get teachers that are like super lenient and understanding, or you can get teachers that are really trying to push you to learn the material and like assign homework to make up for the hours that you wouldn't be in class. So it's just really a gamble. I feel like I got pretty lucky with that, and like most of my teachers are pretty chill. So I'm glad about that. And I'm also glad about the later start time because I had never made it to school on time. Like I was always running, and I only lived 3 minutes away from school. I don't know why I was late so often. But yeah, and then for clubs, I think it was very like a bit stressful and overwhelming to plan out this year because you didn't really know what was going to happen. And I feel like almost for everybody, our original plans for our positions kind of went in the trash and we had to restart like every couple of months, to be honest. Like I've had to kind of look back on what we scheduled for even the digital media coordinator position and kind of change that as well. So it definitely leaves a lot of room for like new stuff to be implemented. And that's really fun as well. And then I think in terms of time management, it's definitely given me more motivation to manage my time better because now there's like less excuses that I can make. But then also sometimes it's just really hard to do stuff because you've been at home for so long. It's like very like mundane and like hard to get stuff accomplished or hard to get motivated. So that's also part of it. But overall, I wouldn't say it's like the worst time of my life.
I definitely agree with the teacher thing. Like, no shade to the teachers. Y'all are doing your best, but they're not all great with technology, and that can mess with their teaching sometimes.
Yeah. And also, I feel like most of my teachers, at least, have been very lenient because we are in the middle of a pandemic and stuff. So I feel like that would make things a lot easier for people too. But yeah, I don't know. I just have to comment on the late start time too, because last year I basically had to get to school at 6 a.m. And yeah, that was not fun. Like I was like fighting with the bell every single day. Like I also live like 3 minutes from school, but yeah, I can't wake up. And then so that's why I'm really happy that school's starting at 8 now because I get to sleep in, especially if I like stay up really late studying. That's a benefit, that's a bonus. Yeah.
Well, for me, yeah, the school workload is definitely a lot less, which for senior year is great because I had a lot more time to do college apps. And like there were some apps that I kind of put off, but I was able to finish them like within that week because my workload was all right. But it's definitely hard trying to find the motivation to do the homework. Yeah. It feels like I get one assignment done and there's always another waiting for me, which was a bad thing, but I mean, manageable. And then for Interact, I planned out my year during the summer and then I had to delete it when the district announced that like second semester was full on like online. And even like Joanna O, our secretary, she was last year's events coordinator. And she was like, see, this is what happens when you like plan early and stuff. And I was like, I just wanted to like start off the year on the right foot and like pre-plan everything, but that was like a major fail. So really got like my creative juices going to create like events. But that also meant like I had a lot like being at home, I think it gave me a lot more time to also plan out events. So that's been nice. And it's even more helpful that our publicists, Victoria and Caitlin, they're super fast with like making flyers. So that was nice as well. Yeah, that's about it.
I feel like that's such a Joanna O thing to say.
Well, to be fair, I haven't really been planning anything like over quarantine either. Like, I don't know. I totally get what you guys mean when you say that it's really hard to find motivation because, like, especially that was the way it was for me at the beginning of quarantine, like in March last year, because like there was no work. So obviously I didn't do it. And then, like, when they did start giving out work, it was optional. So I was like, I'm not going to do that. I have AP exams. So then things kind of just started like going downhill from there. And I probably could have studied because, you know, no wonder I'm struggling with the material right now. But yeah, I still kind of get the feeling that I'm living in a void because it's just me and my computer and Zoom. And I don't really talk to people my own age except when I'm on Zoom. So I kind of feel like I'm separated from everything else, you know, like I don't think that feeling has ever like gone away. So yeah.
Yeah, social interaction has been really hard during quarantine. I message like my friends here and there, but I feel like the people I interact with the most now are like, or people I'm in with clubs.
That is very true. I think the other day, Amanda Vo actually was like, "So, what did you guys do today?" And then, like, everybody just sat there looking at her for like a minute because nobody could think of what they did. Oh, that was so funny.
Yeah, something else I'm kind of interested in is like 2020 has been so whack for all of us. So I was just wondering, do you guys have like any special mottos that kind of got you through last year and the pandemic? Like it could be like pertaining to school or clubs or just like life in general. Yeah.
I most definitely have one. Like Sandy was talking about earlier, social connections, we were losing like a lot of those especially. But I didn't really, I mean, it sounds salty, but I didn't really care that much. Like the motto that I guess got me through was that if they don't give me the energy that I'm looking for, like short replies or being left on red, I just didn't give them that energy back. And then I went to move on and look for, new people who actually gave me that energy.
Yeah, for me, I didn't really have a motto because, like, at the beginning of quarantine, I was just like, well, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. So I'm just gonna sit here doing nothing. But I guess being alone for so long has given me like some time to like contemplate my existence. Okay, no, not contemplate my existence, but like, I don't know, like think more about like what I'm interested in and like I don't know. What I tell myself now is that like if I'm gonna do anything, then it's gonna be like for a reason. And then if I get demotivated, then I like remind myself of the reason so that I don't end up like as a sad heap on my bed because I don't want to do work, which is something that happens like a lot more than you might realize. So it's not like anything formal, but it helps. It helps.
I'm trying to think of mottos. Like, I'm pretty sure there was a motto I lived by, but definitely for sure, something that probably got me through quarantine or like giving me motivation was just like music and like dancing in my room. Like, after class, I'm so tired, but okay. The thing is, my brain like is working all the time, and it's worse when I have thoughts in my head. So after class, if I take a nap, it's like useless. I can't take a nap because I'm like thinking to myself like, "Oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that." Like I'm planning what I'm gonna do after my nap without taking the nap. So I'm just like lying in my bed, so I just use all that energy and like jump around and like just put on some feel good music. Yeah. That's probably what got me through it.
I love dance parties. I think for me, there's probably definitely a motto or something that I cannot remember right now. But what I do remember is this one saying. It doesn't necessarily apply to just like this semester, but it's like something I heard a long time ago that kind of like stuck with me. And it's like my goal is to become somebody that my younger self would be proud of. And I think that's just like a nice thing to keep in mind, and it's something that works for me in like helping to bring back my motivation. And then something else that's also very common within Interact, like how we talked about like shoot your shot or other sayings that are really popular and you hear a lot in Interact. Another one of them is remember your why, and it's kind of like remembering the person who you were when you first started out in your like journey or whatever, and kind of remembering why you were so motivated then, and kind of like finding your roots back to that person, and kind of like not losing them, which I think it's a very nice like thought to keep in your head. It's like very optimistic.
Yes, there was a project for that when our district theme was Remember Your Roots. And it was like you wrote letters to your future self. So I have like a jar of it. I have a jar of like my letters that I wrote probably like end of freshman year, beginning of sophomore year. I should bring it out to give some motivation.
Wait, I still have a letter from seventh grade. I kind of don't want to read it, but like, yeah, I really agree with the statement, like, be someone that your past self would be proud of, because I think it like emphasizes like personal growth and achievement over things like comparing yourself to others. And I think, I don't know, I feel like this is something that hasn't like really been addressed, but like especially like now that we're like in a pandemic and we're online like more than ever, obviously, because everything's online. When scrolling through social media and stuff, we do kind of like fall into those habits, like those really bad habits. And it's really bad for our mental health. And I kind of just like, well, like recently I've been like taking time to like, I don't know, just time for myself to reflect on stuff, because like it's really, I'd say it's kind of difficult to like keep that kind of balance, like especially when you're like inside all day. But like, I don't know, I feel like it's also very important. And that quote does exemplify like basically everything that I've said like throughout this episode. And also like remember your why. That I vibe with that. I'm just gonna say that I vibe with that 100%.
Yeah, I think I heard that quote, or not quote, I heard someone say it in like a YouTube video when I was in like 7th or 8th grade, and I still remember it. I think about it like at least weekly. And I think I'm very like surprised at myself for that. I don't know. Also, it wasn't just any YouTube video, it was a TED Talk. So
She's smart. She's smart.
yeah, middle school me had a lot going on for such an interesting time of my life. I like how we all had like some thoughts or sayings that kind of kept us going throughout the first semester. Is there anything that you would like to keep in mind for the upcoming semester now that the world has kind of changed a little bit, you know?
I would say finding motivation to do more things is pretty difficult. Like, especially now that you're not seeing your classmates every day and you're not actually being in that classroom setting, it can get really tiring. So I think we just need to like remember to find time for yourself. Like, don't push yourself to the point, especially in school, to where you like burn out and you lose all motivation. Remember to take breaks and, you know, let yourself rest up so you can keep that motivation and, you know, maintain those A's.
I saw this from Lauren Gray. She was like reading a book and she took a picture of this quote and I really like it. So I screenshotted it. It's a dream written down with a date becomes a goal broken down into steps becomes a plan, and a plan backed by action makes your dreams come true. From Greg Reed. And I think that's what I'll definitely bring into 2021 and the new semester.
Oh, another thing. I think this semester has also helped me to realize that like maybe I think it's this semester in particular, mostly because it's my first semester of junior year, and then like college apps are gonna be a thing that I have to think about soon. So one of the things is that like my goals don't have to be such a stretch if I put in the work that is required to plan it out and like maybe make it into reality. I feel like quarantine has given me some time to do that as well, and just kind of like think ahead into the future a little bit, but not too much, because I feel like you think too much into the future, you forget about everything else, and that's not ideal.
Yeah. And with everything else that was said, I kind of just want to say this for everyone who's like watching. Please be kind to yourself, because I feel like I think I told you guys about how I basically like lost all motivation like last year during second semester of my sophomore year. Like for this one class, I didn't go like to 3 meetings because I just didn't want to. And then this year, my initial New Year's resolution was to just work harder than ever and like prove I wasn't a disappointment anymore. And like now just realizing that kind of mindset is not gonna be good for you. Like you're gonna burn out eventually, and that has happened to me in the past. And I don't know, it's, I guess, in order to like prevent relapses, you really do just have to take time for yourself. I keep repeating that. Like if you guys know of like a better way to say it, then like hit me up, but I don't. But I guess something that you need to remember is that even if you do fail, like it's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean that you're like a bad person. I feel like people's actions are given like a lot like more weight. I don't know, like right now, especially when we're not like that much in contact with each other anymore, and it's kind of difficult to find a support system. But I just want to say that like everyone's improving, everyone is growing, and I think everyone is going to do well in 2021. So yeah, just don't be afraid to take time for yourself. Yeah, I know I'm very eloquent and just relax.
Yeah, I most definitely agree with that. And especially for people who are doing like college apps or just taking a lot of challenging classes, that's especially important for both your mental health and just maintaining your grades. And just going off on what Joanna said earlier, it's hard to believe, like as a junior, that wow, I'm gonna be applying to colleges soon. The last year with quarantine, it just passed by so quickly, and I was born in 2003, so I'm gonna be turning 18 this year. That's wild.
Twinsies, me too.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Oh my God. My birthday's in December, so I just turned 17, but this is the year I'm turning 18. But that also means that because I turned 16 in December, I only spent 2.5 months of being 16 out of quarantine, and the rest was entirely in quarantine, which I thought was great.
Wow. That's literally like, wow, that's so much of our teenage years just spent in our own houses.
Yeah.
Like I imagine 16 very differently. Like I had so many visions.
Yeah, I imagined 18.
Poor Sandy.
So sad. I think my friend group had planned so many like trips we were gonna take together, and then it was just all gone.
Oh my gosh, I really want to go traveling. Like when I graduate, I want to try going to Japan because I've never been before and it's literally so pretty. But I don't even know if it's gonna happen now with everything that's been going on.
Hopefully, vaccines are rolling out. So
Yeah. Kind of feel bad for the class of 2020 because they didn't even get like a proper graduation. It was really sad.
I think if anything, it's motivated me more to celebrate little victories because you never know if you're not going to be able to celebrate the bigger ones. But yeah. Oh, especially since now it's like January, like New Year's kind of just passed. Do you guys have any goals that you have for this year, whether for your interact positions or just personal resolutions or goals?
I guess I can start. Like for Interact, I definitely like want to be more organized and stay on top of things because I feel like I always say I'm busy, but then like half of those times are like excuses because I don't manage my time well and I procrastinate till the last minute, so I have to do homework. And yeah, I don't know. I just want to be able to enjoy Interact without like procrastinating on schoolwork. So that's definitely up there. And then like personally, I kind of just like, I don't know, I want to put myself out there more. I have been saying this since freshman year, but like I feel like especially with quarantine, it's made me like kind of like even more withdrawn and then like afraid to take opportunities that are out of my comfort zone. So I want to like start finding ways to challenge myself in ways that I can handle again, even when quarantine is like still in session, because I just feel like 2020 was kind of like the year where I didn't do anything because everything was just so chaotic that I felt that there was no way to. But now I'm trying to take like really small steps to achieving my goals and also just growing in general. Yeah.
Yeah, it's mostly the same for me, but I would say like in terms of interact, I'm not like too new, but I'm pretty new and I haven't gotten to know everyone like personally or like closely yet. So I think I would like to work on just building relationships with board members and like officers, because I think when you join a club, just building relationships and that it's really what makes the experience so valuable.
for me, I definitely need to get back into the spirit of service because I think I kind of lost myself first semester, like with college season. And like, I think just it like, I'm going to be honest, first semester was pretty hard. So I think I kind of lost myself and lost a bit of like who I was and what makes up me. So I think going into second semester in 2021, I kind of want to regain that and like probably, yeah, sign up for more service activities and get to know more of the Interact members. I got to know like a few names, but hopefully there'll be like Zoom call activities or just like activities where I can talk and meet new people.
I think for my position, I definitely want to get to know the other officers better. And then I also want to try to find more creative ways to replace what we would normally do, because we would normally have a photo shoot and we would also have story and video as like a recap of the semester or a recap of the year. But unfortunately, we can't really get enough footage to do that this year. So I'm just trying to like rack my brain and like get those creative juices flowing to kind of think of new things to implement. But yeah.
A more personal goal I have probably is to cut down on my procrastination more. Like since the beginning of quarantine, my time management has gotten a lot better. Like I got a planner. Planners really help. I recommend getting one. Like you write down all the things you need to do for the day, and you just check them off as you go. And that helped me with my procrastination issue a lot. But I still want to cut down like delaying work and stuff like that, so I can finish stuff as soon as possible, so I can make time for like hobbies and like just chilling with friends, drawing, stuff like that. So that's one of my resolutions for this year, most definitely.
Yeah, same. Cutting down on procrastination is also like one of my biggest personal goals, because like, I don't know, I watched a lot of TV shows like over the summer that like really resonated with me, and I want to start a creative project, but I have no writing experience and no experience with digital art, and like I really need time to like work on those things, but it has been really stressful, and I don't know if I'm even gonna finish like at the end of college even, or even like at all, but if I could, that would be really nice.
I also want to get into creative projects more. I tried to get into learning Blender, which is like a 3D software where you can like build stuff. So I want to get into that. And then I also wanted to get into like more hobbies that are not screen related, because I spend too much time on the computer. So I've been getting into knitting. That's wild. My plan is to knit a blanket or a cardigan or a cute little hat. I don't know. But I want to knit something and it's going to be cute. I already knit like a little heart. I can't find it right now, but I knit a little heart and it was pretty cute. I did mess up a lot, but that's okay. And then I also wanted to get into painting again, because I used to really like painting when I was little, but I kind of got really lazy and I stopped doing it because cleaning it up was a lot of work. But I want to get into it again. And then I also want to get back into reading, because I also used to read a lot when I was younger, and I just miss like having a good book. So yeah, those are my goals for this semester or like this year. And also I realized that if I plan my time better, then I do have time to do those things. But I also don't feel bad that I can't get stuff done sometimes, because sometimes I just need to take a break, and that's okay.
The only thing I read is fan fiction. Oh my god.
Yeah, the only thing I've been reading are webtoons.
Same, that and fanfiction.net and AO3, and oh my god, what else? Like even Wattpad, oh my god, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, oh my god, like I'm addicted. And that's definitely a habit that I want to break in 2021, even though like I don't know, who can deny that it's fun. I just like this year I just want to be able to read those things like after I'm done with work, because it's like not good for your focus if you like try to do that while you're doing homework, because I tried it and it doesn't work.
Yeah, a personal goal of mine is pretty ambiguous, but it's like to be moderate. The quarantine 15 is catching up to me. So yeah, I'd love to practice moderation with sweets, especially. Like I can't not come out of the kitchen with a cookie in my hand.
Oh, I do that every day.
Another thing is I've seen this in like Korean vloggers I've been watching, but it's like practicing like acknowledging small but definite happiness. So I think that'd be really nice to just like write down anything I come across that just like makes me smile or makes me happy, and probably practicing gratitude. Amanda Vu is very big on gratitude, and I think it will definitely help me get through like bumps in the road. Just knowing that what I'm doing now will help me in the future.
That is so cool. I think people who kind of journal or practice gratitude like that really have optimistic outlooks. Like I think they're such like an ethereal human being, and I always think it's so cool. But it's also something that I don't have a lot of patience for, but maybe one day I'll get into it.
So that is all for our 6th episode, please remember to be an active member because there are going to be a lot of new activities coming out. And if you like the ones that you saw first semester, then you're going to like these ones too. So please go check out the Facebook page if you want to see those.
Yeah, I agree very much. The board members are going to be working, like I know from personal experience that we're going to be working very hard to give you guys new and creative activities. So be sure to apply to them and, you know, be active.
Yes, definitely seconded. Okay. So
and I'd like to add another thing that if Alicia wasn't going into this, but yeah, we're really excited to go into second semester with this podcast as well. And we'd love feedback. Like if you have any questions about Interact that has not been yet answered through our episodes, our past 5 episodes of first semester, please let us know through our social medias.
If you have any feedback in general, like as to what you think of the podcast or what you think of how Interact at Piedmont Hills is going, you can feel free to reach out to any of us, or you can reach out to the club Instagram or Facebook or anything, because we really like hearing input and it just helps us make the club better.
Okay, so I guess that'll be all. Thank you guys for coming, and be sure to check out our podcast next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.